Let's talk about how to align through human design to become a sparkling and juicy generator. As the leading human design expert in Europe and the founder of the Transformational Human Design Teachers Training, I have helped and supported hundreds of burned out and stuck generators to remove resistance and find their flow. In this video, I'm going to teach you exactly what you need to start implementing so that you can take actionable steps that will help you see result in your everyday. Let's get into it. One thing that you will start noticing is that human design seems to be a topic that has no end. There is absolutely everything and anything that you're looking for answers for, you're going to find it in your human design chart. So one of the main things that I see in my clients is that they actually hide behind the amount of information that one can get. It's that idea that before I don't know everything or before I'm not perfect, I can't actually take steps and move along. And the detrimental side of that is that even if you're starting to look into human design and look at Instagram posts or start saving things or reading things, there's something that's really essential, which is the cellular activation. And the cellular activation is something that only happens with an oral transmission. So what's happening right now. And that means that the specific word that we use in the human design language carry a frequency that will awaken your cells so that you can start your deconditioning process to become the most whole, authentic version of yourself and thus be able to live out your life's purpose. And so, the most important thing that you need to understand is that by living out your energy type as a generator, which is what we will discuss in depth now, is the most important thing for you to start living your design and start really moving into alignment. When you own and when you're really understanding the energetics behind what it means to be a generator, and not only a generator, but an aligned, sparkly, juicy, life force creating generator, that's when you're really going to start seeing results in your life. And after you really understood the lessons that I'm gonna teach you in this video, that's when you can start diving deeper. And that's anyways when all of your gifts and talents and all the other information we can find in our human design will slowly blossom on its own. But your energy type is the most important part, and people often skip over this because they maybe feel like they've read about it on different sources on the internet. But I implore you to really listen up, write things down, focus, and allow you to receive the cellular activation. Today, I'm going to teach you how you can use your energetic authenticity to up-level your life so that you can start attracting abundance, the right people, the right chances and opportunities into your life. In the next sector, I'm going to divide the 5 most important things that you need to know about being a generator in your human design. And the beauty of understanding the following information is that it will actually give you tangible tools that you are able to put into practice to see and maximize results immediately. So let's get into it. Let's get into the juicy part. Okay, so the first thing to understand is that your energy type as the generator is not as much as a personality trait as it is your energetic way of being. So what happens is that we have so much information at our fingertips right now. We can learn anything and anything from the internet, mostly YouTube. But there's one thing that we're just starting to grasp an understanding of, and that is the energetics of things. And so your energy type is going to give you the blueprint of how you can work and collaborate with the universe to have less resistance in your life and move with more alignment and more flow. And the main characteristics of your energy type is going to be your auric field. So human design is what we call the science of our aura. We all have an energetic body that is around 2 arms length, 3 meters big. And so your aura as a generator is this open and enveloping force. It's like this hurricane. It has a very feminine component. It pulls things towards you when you're lit up, when you're sparkling, when you're aligned. You're actually pulling the right people towards you, the right chances and the right opportunities. And so there's this whole mechanism that I'm going to explain to you so that you can start understanding why you're not attracting the right people, or why you're feeling resistance, or you're feeling stuck in your life. Let's get into your strategy. And the strategy is going to be the single most important thing so that you can start living your energy type as a generator. And your strategy is your actionable tool. This is what human design gives you so that you have an action step that you can start implementing in real life and take action. Why is this so important? Because action is the universal law of success. Intentions are great, but we really have to show the universe that we're gonna try something new, that we're gonna give this a chance, and we're gonna just go with it and see what happens, okay? It's called the human design experiment for a reason, and I always want you to remember that this is a tool for you to enjoy and have fun with. I don't want this to be another thing that you have to do in your healing process, okay? I want you to go out into the world, express yourself, feel how you're collaborating with the universe. And this strategy is how you will do it. It is how you communicate with the universe and how you collaborate with the support of the universe so that it can continue to move you onto the path of your soul's purpose. And this is so interesting because it's not about manifesting from your mind. It's not about making a wish list of the things your ego might dream of having, but it's really stripping away all of the things that you're not so that your true self can emerge and that you can be found by the things that your soul resonates the most with most ease and in a way that is quick and fast. Your strategy as a generator in your human design is called to respond. And that means that you're really here to respond to the impulses that you get in the present moment. It is all about allowing yourself to be present. And this is because one of the main energy centers in your body graph that has strength and definition is going to be the energy center that is at the height of your belly button. This is the energy center that is called the Sacal energy center. So you will have this defined, which also means that you will have this colored in. This energy center represents desires, joy, and creativity. And this is also the energy motor that gives you, as the generator, one of the key components of what you represent, which is having consistent energy. You're pure life force. You've come here to build, to create, to uplift. And so this energy is generated in the sacral center. And the sacral center, because it is connected to joy, creativity, and pleasure, will only have access to that consistent energy that you're meant to provide the world with when you're doing the things that you love. And one of the core learnings that you will have in this lifetime is understanding that it is not selfish when you do the things that you love, that it's healthy and aligned and correct for you to actually ask yourself, what are the things that you enjoy? Because when you follow the path of your inner guidance, that is when you will be able to create energy. That's when you will be able to feed that amazing hurricane-like aura that pulls the things towards you. And so, responding really comes from this very basic intrinsic mechanism that your sacral center is designed to do. Your response to life is either going to be like, hell yes, that's amazing, or like, ugh, no, really not in the mood for that, okay? And it is important that you honor and you trust that voice because this is what guides you through life. If sometimes you're a bit confused in your life and you don't really know, what to do, then maybe the questions that you're asking yourself are too broad, right? So if somebody's asking you like, hey, what do you want to do in 3 years? You might be, like doubting, I don't know what I'm going to do in 3 years. But if somebody gives you like a tangible example, like, hey, do you want to be moving to this country or do you want to study this other thing in this other place? You will have like a sacral response, and that's how you know what you're allowed or what you should trust within yourself. And so this response mechanism is just incredibly important because from small on, we are often trained that when we express our true desires, love gets taken away from us and we feel unsafe. And so we get taught, and a lot of times that's what we call actual education. We get taught over and over again that to be loved and to be accepted, we actually are not allowed to express our needs or our wants. And so this gets ingrained in our cellular body, in our subconscious. And so when we become older and we have the capacities to start making decisions for ourselves, we might feel undecisive. We might not be sure of what we want to study, where we want to move, if a partner is correct for us or not, what we want to eat. It can even go really basic. So what I really want you to do is create a trust muscle with the universe that it is safe for you to actually listen to your gut feeling. This gut feeling is what moves you forward. It's your inner guiding voice. It's really what's gonna bring you onto the path of your purpose. And so once you start really allowing yourself to trust what your gut is telling you, and you prove to yourself that you are safe doing the things that you love and that you won't be rejected, that's when the magnetism is really going to grow. And you can do this by making first small examples and very small questions to yourself where you have yes and no questions to yourself, that you start building that trust muscle. And later, when you're really starting to feel comfortable in this energetic authenticity of yours and using the collaboration of the universe, then you can start taking bigger steps in saying no to compromises that you're more scared about, like maybe quitting your job or not hanging out with your friends if that day you're not in the mood, and maybe the fear is like, oh, if I don't go, they're never gonna call me and nobody loves me, right? Because you will have that trust with the universe, and you will understand that only when you do the things that you are truly passionate about, that's when your energy can feed and nurture the people in your life. But if you try to make yourself small to please everybody individually, you're actually draining your own capacity to generate this beautiful magnetic aura, and therefore the universe can no longer send you different options for your sacral to react to. And when there are no options and there's no space for the universe to bring you aligned opportunities and people and chances and projects, you will feel stuck. You will feel drained of energy. You will feel like you don't know how to move forward. And this is when another very important part of the human design system comes into play, which is the not self theme. And the not self theme is nothing negative. It's just really this like sign that is telling you, hey, you've gotten off the path of your true alignment. Hey, there's something that you're compromising. There's something that you're not listening to. So every time you feel frustrated, it is not something to hide. It is not something to, run away from, but it's really an opportunity to take a moment, pause, because as a generator, you're like doing, and look at how much fun you're having while you're doing what you're doing. How much of what you're doing is actually something that feeds your energy. And you will know that you're not aligned when what you're doing is draining you from your energy. The more you do what you love, the more energy you should become as a generator in your human design. To start using the not self theme frustration for you as a generator to your advantage, I'm going to give you 2 tips on how you can start using it to further your up-leveling process. And so the first one is going to be conscious communication. I really want you to use conscious communication so that you can start indicating and sharing your needs and wants with the people around you. And obviously, when you're telling somebody the thing that you want or don't want to do, I want you to really use kindness, empathy, and understanding, and trying to be as open and transparent and vulnerable as possible so that you will have the least amount of resistance and friction. And so all of these things that you think you must do or that you should do, these are all conditionings and limiting beliefs that are holding you small from your authentic self to shine. And so whenever you notice that you're doing something that's draining your energy, or that you think you have to do but you're not excited, really look at that belief and see if there's a way that you can remove that. And maybe you find something else that you're super lit up about, and that will absolutely countercorrect the fact that you're not doing something that you should, but maybe something that just comes up is amazing and works so much better for you, okay? That is the magic of energetics. And so conscious communication and starting to use your intention by putting it out in the world is going to be super important. And so what can happen is that if you've been in dynamics that are very codependent or very people-pleasing, you can notice that some people will shift the way that they perceive you. But it's also really important for you that you continue to just live your authenticity. And so it happens sometimes that when our frequency up levels, when our frequency changes, the people that used to be core people in our life suddenly are no longer there. And I know that that's a process that can be a bit painful because many people think it has to do with them. In a certain way, it's just the natural selective process. of you just growing into a more wholer, up-leveled, higher frequency version of yourself. And some people will leave your life and you won't see them again. And some people will come back. I've had it every time that I'm having like big expansion in my life. People that are really important to me kind of like seem to disappear, and some new people come in that, you know, are more resonant with where I am right now in my life. Other people stay and move with me, and others leave and they come back 10 years later, and we've kind of like grown parallel. And then we meet again, and it's a beautiful friendship, and then we can continue from there. So I know that this growing process sometimes can be painful, but rest assured that when you're moving from the right space within your heart, everything will be in divine timing, and everything will be exactly how it has to be, so that you can continue to go onto the path to your purpose. And the next thing is going to be delegating. And delegating is a really big one, because a lot of times, especially as a generator, you feel like you have to do it all. I have to do this and this and this, and you're always on the go, and you have like this consistent energy, and you're like, you know, full of that sparkling energy that I think is amazing. But when you're doing things that you don't want to be doing, they're going to drain you. And that's what we want to remove. We want to remove anything that can drain your energy, so that you can continue to attract all those beautiful things that are meant for you. And so this can be little things. Maybe you hate cleaning up the house. Maybe you hate cooking. Maybe you hate taking out the dog. Like whatever it is that brings up big frustration or resistance or unmotivation or this feeling of laziness or not wanting to do it, you are allowed to delegate that. Start delegating the things you don't want to do. Use conscious communication to say no to the things that don't light you up and say yes to the things that excite you. And that will start moving your energy so that you can really come into this new cleansed auric field and make space for new amazing opportunities to enter your life. And last but not least, we're going to come to your signature. And the signature is actually what I want you to focus on the most. So when you start concentrating on gaining access to the feeling that represents your signature, which for you is that feeling of satisfaction. And satisfaction is gonna be like that deep, warm belly feeling of having eaten a nice comfort meal that gives you like this little smiles on your face. Okay, that's what we're aiming for. We want this deep, fulfilling satisfaction. So when you start focusing on creating that kind of satisfaction in your life, everything else will come as a collateral. So contrary to what we've been told in our society, that you have to work a shitty job and then save all your money and don't you dare spend it on a latte, and then when you're 65, you might be as lucky to start living the life you actually want to live. Human design teaches us that when you start showing up authentically every day, when you start creating satisfaction in your everyday, that is when you are in your purpose. And so the universe will continue to support you with the right opportunity, with money, with success, with recognition, with all of these other things that you believe you're aiming for, but as a collateral. So sometimes it's really hard to understand, how can I be like focusing on having satisfaction in my life but also make money? Like oftentimes these feel contradictory. But the magic of understanding energetics is that when you start aligning in one area of your life, it will affect a completely different area of your life, right? This is a bit like you can maybe understand meditation. You're meditating or you have meditative practice. Maybe if you don't, that's fine as well. But I'm just saying you're meditating and you feel like calm in that moment, but also you notice that in other circumstances, suddenly you are more calm because you have kind of like trained your mind and energetically you are balancing yourself out. And so one of the examples that I always give with my clients in my readings is, you know, if you are like, well, I love caressing my cat 20 minutes a day, how is that gonna bring me money? I always think about the cat cafes in Japan that have become such a huge success, that for sure are like an incredible monetizing business where people go to cafes to pet cats. So oftentimes we believe that those little things in us that are weird or that never gonna bring us anywhere, or that we have been taught, or that somebody has told us that we can't make money from them, or that they're not a real business idea, or that that's not something you can be doing in your life, is actually the singular most important thing about you that will allow you to stand out from the crowd, to find your space, your niche, and shine bright so that everybody can find you, and so that you can really stand in your purpose and in the things that you've come to create and do in this lifetime. So your signature is going to be satisfaction. Create a little bit of more satisfaction into your daily life and watch the magic unfold. With this, you have learned the 5 most important pillars that you need to start living an aligned, authentic life as a generator in your human design. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I love answering questions over anything, so I'm excited to get to talk to you. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next video with more juicy information on how you can up-level your life using energetic authenticity and bypassing any kind of resistance that's holding you back.